say, like, because I'm not your demographic, so I didn't know who the Nelk Boys is. But like, I found my DMs exploding. It's like, did you see what the Nelk Boys did? It's like, who the are the Nelk Boys? And then I didn't know that you're that big. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not your targeted demography, so I apologize for my ignorance. So and then I started following what's going on and the aftermath. The bigger picture is, why did this happen, and why was this? Were you used? A part of you is your responsibility, and part of you not knowing. So I heard many of the justification that happened, saying that, well, it was a great opportunity, and I'm like, wouldn't you like get him on the podcast? I said, yes. If somebody told me, would you interview Netanyahu? I was like, hell yeah, but I'll be prepared. And I think the biggest part of you, that you were not prepared. 2 years under like the biggest genocide in our history, you guys had no idea what's going on. If somebody told me, hey, you're going to be tomorrow on the starting five of the Lakers in the NBA, it's like, that's a great opportunity, but I'm not prepared. I'm not going to make a fool out of myself. So it's not about you platforming someone or someone giving a chance for free speech. You were used, right? And it didn't start with the podcast. It started 2 years ago in March 2023 when you went to Israel, because I know, like I told you, that the Israel has increased their Hasbara budget, which is their propaganda machine, with $150 million. And part of that money goes to influence people in college campuses, hire influencers like you, getting them into fancy trips to Israel, giving them this filtered, layered picture that is made up, that is fake. So you were recruited in March 2023 and you were activated in July 2025, right? So, and I'm saying this because I'm saying this out there for all of the influencers around there, because there's a lot of people got backlash. There's influencers who went there like wearing IDF. It's like, we didn't know what we're going on. Like he was like, I didn't know I'm kissing a Jewish
I
wall.
mean, yeah, I can definitely admit that. I mean, I think we were both just ignorant to what was going on over there. And obviously, I knew he was, I'll be honest, I thought he was controversial, but I was definitely ignorant to what was going on in that area. And I can
Yes.
admit that. And it was definitely, I wish we could have gone back and,
Yeah.
had 2 weeks to sit down with someone like yourself and just, we should have grilled him 50,000, 100,000 times harder, but
Yeah.
something we can't get back. And we'll probably always regret
Of course,
that.
but I know you can't get back this like trip in Israel, but I'm just telling you, this was like part of a much bigger propaganda effort, right? And a country that spends $150 million on its image, they are covering something. They when they spread all of these propaganda, it's like, we're not starving people in Gaza. You understand that this conversation has been happening for 2 years. First of all, I'm not absolving you from your trip. You guys are not little kids. You are 30 years old, right? People in your age have families, and they have a career, and you need to stop. I'm just saying this because you're my little brothers, but you're not little,
No.
right? You need to stop infantilizing yourself. It's like, we're just stupid people doing stupid stuff. You're 30 years old, and you need to be aware of what's happening in the world, and that your reach and your platforms mean something, and it affects people. And I think the biggest reason why people were so upset for you, not because you brought someone and you didn't contest him, that it is the talking point that he used is the same talking points that have been used for 2 years to kill thousands of people. And part of the reason why people were so angry is that, forget even if you don't know anything about the conflict, there was like a total lack of critical thinking. I mean, you guys asked him the one good question when you told him in October 7th, how could this be allowed to happen? Everybody knowing that Mossad is like a crazy, intelligent thing that infiltrates people and put bombs in pages. How did you not see that coming? But also, a critical thinking is, how come an attack was allowed for 6 hours in the most heavily surveilled part in the world? You understand, like in 2019, they killed like hundreds of people just because they approached the
From the
wall
Great March of
between Gaza
Return.
and Israel. You understand? They killed. You have like copters, like drones, you have snipers. Suddenly, for 6 hours, remember what Netanyahu told me? How big is Israel? He
Hmm.
told me it's like as big as Rhode Island.
As Jersey, right?
Yeah, like it. You understand the distance between Gaza and Tel Aviv is 44 miles. You understand that, like, he was just bragging to you that, like, hey, we went across 3 countries to bomb Iran, but you can't have a single helicopter coming out to defend your people. Like, the October 7th was used in order to tell people, look to the Jewish people that were killed. But you don't understand that you pay $1 million as Americans, as Canadians, to protect those Jewish people. So it's not just like an intelligence failure. It was a deliberate way to let people get slaughtered. And what did he tell you when you asked him what happens? Like, we're still investigating it. Really investigating it for 2 years? You don't know how people for 6 hours continued to kill people? That's why when people
I mean, the reason why they can't investigate it any further is because, let's be real, the Hannibal Directive that Yoav Gallant admitted was utilized on October 7 means that they killed a bunch of the Israeli civilians. Okay? That is literally true. That is undeniable. We do not know what the percentage of the civilian death toll came from the Israeli military itself. But no one can dispute that the Israeli military killed a bunch of Israeli civilians on October 7. This is the reason why they can't fucking do a full-blown investigation. Also because they relied heavily on just lying about what took place on October 7 over and over again. In spite of all of the atrocities, the actual atrocities that took place, it wasn't enough. They had to just like fucking make shit up. Like, oh, they put babies in ovens and decapitated. Oh, what the fuck? This is the, wow. Never happened before. Anyway, that's part of the reason. That's the real reason why they don't want to fucking investigate it.
we went on other people podcasts and they told you, guys, they used the Hannibal Directive. They killed their own people. And I sent you all of the stuff. What was your reaction? Dude, that's conspiracy. Again, people were angry because you didn't read what's going on there, right? Israel uses something called blitzkrieg. You know what's blitzkrieg? It means flash attack. This is what the Nazi did. They do like a very coordinated attack very quickly, very fast. It's like very simple messaging. Decapitated babies, mass rape, right? So there's an emotional response. People get so angry, and then after a couple of days, everybody goes back to their Netflix, to their UFC fight, to the NBA, and the people who stay, it's like, wait a minute, that is fucked up. That didn't happen. There's so many plot holes already. Most of the people has already went back to their lives. So the people who stay and hold them accountable will be called fringe, obsessed, anti-Semitic, conspiracy theory. Like you said, oh, dude, this is conspiracy theory. It's not. And this is why I have like sent you all of the videos so you can be educated. When you were on a podcast and they were telling you, dude, they spit on Christians in Israel. It's like, I was in Israel, nobody spit on me. Yes, of course, because you were in a curated propaganda.
Also, you're Jewish. I mean, Kyle isn't, but that's the one thing. You can get away with a lot as a Jewish person in Israel. Like, you have to literally be like Norm Finkelstein to not be allowed into the state. Now, maybe post October 7th, things might have changed a little bit in terms of like anti-Zionist Jews and like how much they're allowed into the state, but like it's a fucking supremacist state. And because it's a supremacist state, because Zionism is an ethno-religious supremacist attitude, yeah, when you're Jewish, even if you're like, fuck Israel, Israel can suck my dick,
People that
I mean, Miriam Adelson has been up their ass for a long time. Like, she literally, I think she was the one who made them do the Israel video. He said the Mossad edit.
being slaughtered and starved to death right now, and then they distract you with questions like, it is Hamas. It's the people, they're not allowing aid in. And you understand that this is the same exact conversation that's been happening for 2 years. They bomb hospitals. It's not us.
Yeah.
It's Hamas. Oh, it's us. But there were Hamas underneath it. It's maybe a mistake. Then after bombing hospital, they bomb schools. And then they bomb entire residential areas. Then they kill women and children. And now, 2 years later, we're discussing the same question, but like Are we starving them or is it Hamas starving them? You see the cycle of deceit, the cycle of lies, the cycle of propaganda. So that's why I'm not coming here to say, like, oh, they are starving, because I'm not gonna go after each and every single lie that he said because it's exhausting. And they have been doing that for 2 years. So I'm here to show you the patterns and the bigger picture to understand that you are sitting with a narcissistic, psychopathic liar that used to gaslighting people and lie them to them in their faces.
Yeah, I want to say too. Yeah, we obviously one thing that hurt me the most when we had him on was just I have a lot of personal, friendships and stuff from people of all religions, and a lot of people were obviously just upset, and they're messaging me personally, like friends, and saying, "Why did you have him on?" and stuff. So when I told them
He
that,
means UFC fighters. He means Habib. He means like literally half of the UFC roster that are all from Dagestan, who was like, "What the fuck are you doing, brother? What are you doing, brother?" Like, that's it. Because every one of those dudes fucking hates Israel.
we're having you on to explain us the bigger picture, they're all very excited. So honestly, we just want to learn about this, and we obviously just want to use our platform to educate people.
What do you want to learn about?
I mean, I think it would just be good for you to talk about what Netanyahu said and explain us,
Well, one thing I said about the October 7th, like, he, and I like not just October 7th, is the way that he dehumanized the whole population. Remember when he told me, how can young people march in the streets with people who kill gays? And then he used this like overplayed, lame jokes, like gays for Gaza is like chicken core for KFC. And it's just like, keeps saying it in everywhere, and he just like, it sounds stupid. And they tell me they are like they would kill women if they're not in hijab. So this guy who pretends that he cares about gays and women, and I send you the articles, like how they have actually used revenge porn in order to
Yeah.
recruit gay people.
Yep. But that's too complicated. Just tell them Palestinians are gay as fuck. There's gay Palestinians. They're all getting killed. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like, they don't give a shit about anti-Semitism. You don't have to explain to them that, like, the Israeli security forces are using revenge porn against, like, gay Palestinians in an effort to turn them into collaborators. And it's not just, like, gay Palestinians. They're doing it to straight Palestinians, too. They're doing it to all of them. They're literally blackmailing them and doing revenge porn. They're, like, hacking into their phones. They're actually fucking filming them, filming and doing gay acts and shit like that. Also, gay marriage is illegal in Israel. It's not recognized by the state. You can't get gay married inside of Israel. You have to go to Cyprus. That's another thing. And homosexuality has not been illegal in the West Bank for forever, pretty much. So the idea that like Palestinians are homophobic doesn't mean, even if they literally were like the most homophobic motherfuckers on the planet, that still doesn't justify ethnically cleansing them. That's number one. And number two, the idea that like society doesn't contain multitudes here and they're just like really, really homophobic towards the other Palestinians who happen to be queer is fucking ridiculous. They are just simply using it as a talking point because people don't think about it beyond that.
They go into Grinder and Facebook and Instagram. Like I think you have the
the
headlines.
IDF goes on Grindr.
Yeah. They got, and they actually pick those gay people, and then they use revenge porn in order to hire them as informants. You have that?
Whoa.
Yes. So over the past several months, I spoke to there's a lot of queer Palestinians that actually been used by the IDF in order to actually hire them as informants. And then the same guy who cares about women and children, he already killed more than 28,000 women and children in the less than a year and a half. And again, they use revenge porn. There's even a movie about it made by like an Oscar-nominated director. He's a Palestinian, and it's called Hoda Salon. And they talk about like how for very many years they have spiked women's drinks in beauty salons in order to shoot them and film them in compromised position and then use them or use their husbands. So you understand the level of pathology and the level of narcissistic behavior, the level of evil these people are doing. And then they have the audacity to come and talk about gay people and talk about women. This is crazy, man. You understand? And when I went and I sent you that stuff in order to look and verify. And this is why the reason we're doing this in live, because I invite anybody to fact check everything that I say as we go on.
So what about some of the stuff Netanyahu said? I know this is for you is probably basic, but what he said, we asked him if he was purposely starving people. in Gaza, and he
Yeah.
said Hamas is stealing the food.
It's interesting that we would actually take the war of an indicted war criminal and a guy who's been caught lying many times. Like, for example, when he say Iran is days away from creating a nuclear bomb, and there's
What do you suggest groups do with infiltrators and collaborators? I agree with you on most. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that. Like I'm explaining to you what the purpose behind it is. Okay, it doesn't fucking matter. It literally doesn't matter. Everyone has done it. There's every single resistance movement has done this. I'm even describing to you what the purpose is and why they do it. Okay, you don't have to go beyond that. Okay, you don't have to literally fucking be like, this is the most moral thing to do. It's the best. I love it. Shut the fuck up.
videos of the internet of him saying many times, "Oh, Iran is like 5 months away, 3 months away," and you understand when you asked him about like Iraq, oh, he said, "Oh, that's unfortunate," and yet he has a video saying Iraq is month away of creating weapons of mass destruction.
I've
and
seen
you remember,
that video. I've seen the video
y-
of him talking about Iran.
yeah.
for,
So you
since the
see, you
90s.
see a guy that like, if you have a friend, Steiny, and if you have a friend that consistently lies to you and he caught up lying, when would it be enough to say, okay, that guy, I'm not going to take anything he says? Now, the thing about like him saying we're not starving, it's Hamas. There's also some of the articles that I send you. There is like multiple articles of Israel killing aid workers, UN workers, saying that they are Hamas. You know, they have killed over like, I don't know the number, 100, 200 people of aid workers. They are like lining people in aid lines and then they are killing them. When they tell you,
So people that are not even involved in the conflict, they're aid
yes,
workers.
I think the number is like they killed over 180 doctors or it's the numbers is like so big now you can't even like catch up with the numbers. And I was in London. They were playing the world premiere of a documentary called Doctors Under Attack. And it shows you, it's a documentary done by the BBC, by the way. It shows you how, it's good there. Yeah.
Says over 400
So, yeah.
Palestinians.
So, and
killed
of
around
course, it's very
Friday.
easy to say, oh, the United Nations is anti-Semitic. Everybody is anti-Semitic. Everybody is lying. And the only one who's not lying is Netanyahu, right? So those people that...
So like this one, for example, is this like a bombing or is this just like they're coming and like gunning them down?
they're gunning. The reason I'm like showing you this is that
Honestly, kind of impressed with these kids. They got really humbled and are trying to learn. That's difficult to do, brother. They're doing it because their entire audience yelled at them. Okay.